Alright guys! In this video, I will talk about 4 characters featuring in the 3.4 banners to help you decide who to pull for. Without wasting any time, let's begin! Let's start off with the newly released character, Al-haitham. As per common knowledge, he's going to be a Dendro sword DPS who can deal a decent amount of AoE damage. One of the strong points of Al-haitham is his gameplay. It's very fast-paced and rewarding, similar to catching in Raiden Shogun. His ability animations are top-notch, and from what we've seen so far, he looks very fun to play and experience. This is really important as the number of characters just keep increasing, and therefore it is getting harder and harder to decide who you should pull for, and I think how fun the character is a major factor. Another thing to note is that you can use C6 spin it with him, as his Syndro infusion will override it. And for those who don't know, his E skill scales off of attack percent and elemental mastery. Although we have a lot of DPS characters already in the game, Al-haitham having Dendro infusion gives him a lot of damage potential, especially with his burst, which also looks amazing by the way. Overall, unless you've been waiting for the other 3 characters, you won't regret pulling for this guy, as long as you build him properly of course, which might sound like a chore since we couldn't pre-farm his materials. Let's now talk about the character who's had the longest time between her rerun, none other than TAO. First of all, congrats to those who've been waiting for her and those who missed her previous rerun that happened back on 2nd of November 2021. A lot of people ask if TAO is still relevant, and well, the short answer is yes. She is still as good as she was despite the new characters. A Pyro DPS can never go wrong, and she can even rival some of the strongest DPS characters in the game. Her gameplay, in my opinion, is still the same, which consists of spamming charge attacks and taking advantage of the many elemental reactions that Pyro offers. For those that didn't know, the Hydro resonance that you get for having 2 Hydro characters in the team increases all party members' health by 25%. This works wonders for TAO, as not only do you get access to Vaporize, but also it complements her gameplay perfectly. However, the reason a lot of people don't like TAO is that it does require a bit of time to get accustomed to her playstyle, and many just don't like spamming charge attacks, which is just a matter of personal preference. Moving on to YELAN, the Hydro bow user. YELAN is one of the best support characters in the entire game, and I'm sure you would agree. She is similar to XIAO in terms of Hydro application and support capabilities, however, she can also act as a sub DPS in a lot of meta teams. One thing to note about her is that she has so much reliability, much like the big 3, Xiangling, Bin and XIAO. There's not much to cover on YELAN, but don't let that trick you into thinking that she's any less than any of the characters on banner. Overall, she's a very good and underrated character, and is definitely worth pulling. Lastly, there's the Conqueror of Dreams, XIAO. This is an interesting rerun because when it was confirmed that XIAO was going to rerun in 3.4, there was a lot of mixed reactions. Some people thought that it should have been Ayaka on the banner, some thought it should have been Shinha. This is because XIAO has had a fair amount of reruns and people are frankly tired of it. Nevertheless, he is still an amazing character in my opinion, and one of the most fun to play because of his lunge attacks. In fact, he's still one of the top DPS characters in the game, and is also very different to other characters. His unique playstyle is still exclusive to him to this day, no other character plays like he does. With the release of Faruzan, pretty much every anemo character received a buff. Having said that, he does have quite a few downsides, such that he is heavily dependent on his burst, which also requires a fair amount of energy recharge, not to mention the need for a shielder or a healer because this guy's is way too squishy. Let's finish off by ranking them based on who you should pull for. In my opinion, obviously, please don't hate me. Realistically, you should always pull for the character that you love most, regardless of the public opinion or meta. Anyway, here are the rankings. In first place, I will place Al-haitham because he's a new character, and I love trying out new characters because they provide such a unique dynamic to the game. In second place is YELAN because of her support capabilities and unique playstyle, along with her gorgeous animations, not to mention she's a Hydro unit. Third place is going to go to TAO. This is purely because she hasn't had a rerun in so long that she doesn't deserve the last spot. But do you know who does deserve the last spot? Yes, it's XIAO. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's cool and all, but no one wanted him. Anyway, again, That was a ranking based off my opinions, and I hope this video has helped you somewhat decide on who to pull for. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe as it does mean a lot. Who will you be pulling for? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.